Welcome in our studio. Today we discussed the main news and the main problems happened in Ukraine during last week. And today we've got a special guest from Sweden. It's Katya. Katya, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And thank you very much for this opportunity to speak about the situation in my hometown in English. So my English speaking, English language speaking friends here in Sweden, then they can understand what's going on from first hand.
Yes, sure. It was the main reason we began this interview. We began to do this show, and I'll tell you about the main topics, the main news we had last week, and then maybe if you have any questions, then you can ask me. And yes, yes. Okay. And the main news still from Energodar, because we are waiting for the international agency Atomic to arrive and to conspect, to check everything that happens there, and to check maybe the state or also of the staff, the state of the people. And the main problem is for NATO to be sure to know who is bombing the Energodar, because we sure know that this is Russians, but it's not so clear for Europe, it's not so clear for the rest of the world. And this commission arrived to Kiev, and we're expecting them to be in Zaporizhya and then in Energodar in a few days. It should be no later than Saturday. The main problem is that we didn't expect the bombing that happened in Energodar, mainly because there is a nuclear plant there, yes, and the second reason we can be afraid about the citizens, about the people who live there, that because Energodar wasn't projected, it wasn't built with the shelters. So there are basically no shelters in Energodar because like no one thought that someone possibly can bomb the city. It's just impossible. And so we just need to wait, we just need to be patient, and we need to check the situation constantly and hope for the best. And of course, it will be the possibilities for the citizens, for the people who live there, to evacuate if something happens.
How can we prove to European people that shelling is not from Ukrainian armed forces, but from Russians? Have we some evidence for it?
Yes, so the evidence that is not Ukrainian forces, is not Ukrainian army, is quite simple. That you can ask just the people that live there. You can ask the people from Nikopol. This is the city across the river next to Energodar. And during all these months, they have seen a lot of Russian forces. They have seen all these missiles were launched. So they basically just see how these missiles were launched and how they bombed the city and the nuclear station. So yeah, it's just the question that this Commission International, they just should arrive there and see this by their own eyes. And our next topic is we have a charity event in Zaporizhia. It will be held in the building of university, and this is about the Azovstal. This is about Azov. So this event is organized by families of the fighters or the warriors from Azov, and it's mainly to show people that we still remember them, we don't forget them. There are many still captured, many of them still not at home, and we must remember them and we must support their families. And it will be an art installation and will be auction. So you can buy anything from there. It's also the things created by the members of the family. And so you can buy, and all the funds raised will be delivered to charity.
May I ask you, is there some opportunity for example, European or my Swedish friends to give some financial support on this action? Maybe you have some credentials or something, so they can join this action for Azovstal, for our defenders.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how abroad transactions will work, but this event will be held offline. It will be in the university, and it will be the translation on YouTube. But I'm not sure that you can possibly beat being in another country. That you need to be there to participate. So. Unfortunately, maybe next time they'll organize a bigger event with international guests. But for now, yes. And our next topic, in 2 days we'll have the beginning of the school year, and we have a main problem because we're not sure how it should work, because we are afraid of missiles, we're afraid of bombing. That became more frequently there and became more often in Zaporizhya, and a lot of parents want this process to be online, and we're inspecting the shelters that are in universities, that are in schools, and we just want to know if it's actually possible. But still, even with the shelters being okay, it's not safe. It can be not safe because sometimes when missile launched and it's just flew to the building, you don't have actually the time to evacuate all people to the shelters. And the main problem also with the school year on the occupied regions, and we have the bigger problems with school year on occupied territories, because Russian government, they want all children to be at schools, they want to begin their education, and they want them to read all the textbooks with Russian propaganda, and they all want them to speak Russian, and etc. And it's just a problem because you cannot decline this, you can't be homeschooled, because otherwise if you don't do this, the parents, they can be denied with their parental rights, and also the teachers, they're threatened, and some of the teachers were even kidnapped. So it's really hard situation, and from all the schools, from all the universities, it's a small percentage that still works, and we're not sure how it will be, and we're not sure that it will be safe, the process for the children and for the teachers.
So sad, like real oral fighting for the minds. And, I want to ask you, right now, Uppsala, the city where I'm family now, some volunteers, they are gathering warm things and sleeping bags. Maybe Zaporizhia needs such support. And what do you know in general about Swedish support for Ukrainians?
Well, to tell frankly, I don't know much about Sweden support exactly, but still, if I personally don't know about it or someone else, that doesn't mean that this support doesn't help. So if you're helping, you need to continue, and we are really grateful for this. And yes, we will need the sleeping bags, I think, because we're also waiting the harsh winter. We're trying to prepare for this, and we're trying to also we're trying to work with the alternatives type of the energy. So maybe heating by wood, or maybe heating by canola oil, right? And sleeping bags will be really a great idea for us. It will really help us, because what you need to understand, what we need to understand, the citizens of Europe, the rest of the world, that Zaporizhia is basically the largest not occupied southern city. So we're like hub, we're like gates to the Ukraine from occupied territories. We've got a lot of shelters where people from occupied territories, they came here, they live here maybe for a few weeks, for a few days, then they can stay, or they can move, they can go to another city, and we're sending this help, we're sending provision, we're sending food, clothing to all the occupied territories. So any help then possibly can be, it will be appreciated, and we need it, yes.
sorry, I need to take my baby because it will be...
Oh, yeah, sure.
I want to tell you that in Sweden, people are very supportive, and they are trying to support Ukraine in different ways, supporting and helping Ukrainians here in Sweden, which came here because of the war. They are trying to gather supplies and humanitarian aid, and they send it to Ukraine. And now for them, it's very important to understand that all helps, it's like get the trustful organization, because they made this for half a year, and it's like volunteers, and they are trying to be helpful as much as they help. There are a lot of demonstrations and meetings in support for Ukraine in Stockholm, in Uppsala will be on this weekend. So I want to tell my friends from Zaporizhya that in Europe, people support us. And Ukrainians, which are in Swedish cities, they are trying to do everything. So journalists and society don't forget about the war in Ukraine and continue to support us.
Yes. Thank you. It's deeply appreciated. It's deeply valuable for us to know that despite all the problems you have, that you still not forget about Ukraine, that you help Ukraine, that you support it. And I think that with such great people, with such great help, we surely will win. And this is basically all the news and all the topics for today. And thank you, Katya. Thank you for calling us. Thank you for your amazing child. Yeah, just wonderful baby. And this is all. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
Радіо на дотик. На дотик.